Hi everyone. Uh, Before we start the lesson today, I have to do some review about what we learned last week. All right. This unit is about health and medicine, and I think modern people care about their health very much, right? Okay, so there are so many hospitals in Taiwan, and we have very good system of healthcare, medical care, even the top one in the world. Okay, so that's why Taiwan felt very upset that we can um, go to WHA this time. All right. Oh, okay. No politics. All right. Okay. About the review, I want to ask you some questions. All right. The first one is, uh, when you cannot fall asleep, what will you do? Of course, do something to make you fall asleep. Okay, remember, our classmate also showed us uh, one of the ways to help you to uh, have a good dream, have enough sleep. Sleep is very important for human beings, really. If you don't sleep well, I think the next day you cannot work or study very efficiently, and maybe you will have a very bad mood. All right. So, well, you can answer the questions optionally. If you do, of course, you will get extra points. All right. So, join the discussion. All right. And then the second question is, do you have special habits when you are sleeping? For example, I don't know. All right. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But if you don't have any special habits, then recall you have learned in the lesson. Yeah, some habit is very interesting apparently, but actually it is very dangerous, right? Okay, so um, that is about the lesson we learned. The sleep, the subject of sleep and dreams, and I hope uh, you will have some idea in your mind. All right, then we'll go to the subject today. This is epidemics. I think it's a new thing to you. All right, most people don't have many ideas about epidemics, but when you see the picture, I think probably you will get uh, what's going on uh, about this topic. Okay. All right. Before we go to the lesson, the main task, I will tell you about uh, this word. All right. Because this is a new subject to you, and I think this is very important to modern people because we people usually stay together and we will go to places with many people like cinemas, museums, or even stations. All right, and some academics are still unknown to many people, such as Ebola, right, and many epidemics are deadly, but doctors, human beings, have no ideas, have no ways to deal with them. All right, so we have to know about this word and the history of epidemics and learn the lesson, of course, right? Okay, so let's go to the definition first. All right, epidemic, a disease that occurs with much greater frequency than is normal based on recent experience. All right. Actually, epidemic wiped out millions of people in the world. Okay, and we will see some uh, definitions of this word. Okay, traditionally, it's used to describe communicable diseases such as bubonic plague. Oh, sorry, plague is Plague, not QUE. All right, I'm so sorry about the typo. I don't know if why I keep the word here. I remember I corrected it. Well, remember the word Plague, not QE. All right, these two words are different. Okay. All right. All right. And then the word communicable. This word means contagious, right? And then bubonic plague. If you want to know the what it is, then you can Google it, right? And then nowadays, maybe it can be used to describe some other non-communicable diseases or problems such as obesity or drug addiction epidemics. All right, and then we will learn the other words, right? Which is called pandemic. All right, and later on you will see the words. All right, and here I will show you the history. Uh, Epidemics, historical historic examples. The first one is smallpox. All right, it's one of the earliest deadly epidemics in the world. But now, WHO declared smallpox eradicated in 1979. Smallpox in Chinese, 天花. All right. Uh, and then the next one is the Black Death. All right. One of the example is bubonic plague. All right. So this is the correct one, plague. First appeared in Europe in the middle 1300s and is considered one of the deadliest uh, pandemics. All right. You can see the word pandemic here. All right. Pandemic means epidemics are split in very large regions. Okay. All right, and you can check out the word in the dictionary or Google it. Okay. All right, and then the next one is typhus. All right. Uh, it is spread through lice. Lice is a plural form of louse, right, on humans. 伤寒. Okay, and these days it's treatable with antibiotics. All right, we'll see this word very often in this lesson. It's kind of medicine and very magic medicine, and it's used very often and very commonly. All right, and then the next one is influenza. All right, the most well-known pandemic of it was during and following World War One. Okay, and between 1918 and 1920, it was nearly as cataclysmic as Black Death. All right, cataclysmic, which means a kind of contagious disease that causes um, you know many people to die or to uh, be infected to suffer from the disease. All right, and then wiping out up to 100 million people. Wiped out, which means to kill so many people. Okay, all right. So this is about the history uh, of epidemic. and some well-known epidemic uh, diseases in, that happened before. Hi, everyone. All right. And then after knowing these historical examples, then we will go to our text. Okay. And then the first paragraph, the main idea is when poor health conditions are present in large population centers, epidemics can start. All right. So let's see. Uh, some important details we have to bear in mind. Okay, everyone suffers from disease at some time or another, but millions of people around the world do not have good health care. All right, so don't imagine that people around the world, just people uh, like us in Taiwan, we have very good system of healthcare, but in most countries, people cannot get uh, good medical treatment, or maybe the medical treatment is very expensive. All right. Okay. So in that kind of situation, as millions of people move from the countryside to cities around the world, new diseases can spread quickly between humans and the animals living in crowded conditions. All right, so that's the way why an epidemic will spread. Okay, and then the next point is often doctors do not know how to treat these diseases, and sometimes there is no treatment. All right. Um, Maybe you will say that, well, as we know, science and especially medical science is so improved. Someday people can figure out the way to treat these diseases. But so far, if we have no ideas or no suitable way, proper ways to cure people with these diseases, then we should do something to avoid the breakout of an epidemic, especially for a person or for a community. Okay, and in this paragraph, I want you to learn this disease, swine flu, which is an illness in humans caused by a type of influenza virus normally found in pigs, such as H1N1. All right, and then I will show you the picture. Okay, swine means pig. All right, and then the next paragraph, the main idea. As people travel and fight, unknown diseases spread, which means when a war happens. All right. Uh, there are some details I will show you, and to get um, the picture what it means. Okay. The first one is epidemics can change history. In which way? See, exploration and the wars cause different groups of people to come into contact with each other. Uh, they carry strange diseases to each other. Okay, and the next point is the example. When the Europeans first traveled to North and South America, they took diseases with them that killed about 95% of Native American population. Well, so you will see, so many people were killed by the strange disease because they cannot resist the kind of disease because the disease is strange to them. All right, pay attention to this word I highlighted. Um, this is a conjunction, right? Okay, and we know this kind of clause is so-called relative clause, right? So that means the diseases, okay? All right, so this kind of disease, we can say is a type of epidemics, okay? And then, all right, the next paragraph. The main idea is people have all kinds of ideas about how to prevent and treat diseases. Well, I think before the medical science was so advanced, and people will go to so-called sources or witches or some local doctors, all right, doctors, quotation mark, all right, to ask for help, and we don't know in what kind of situation they were cured, but well, people can, they are the ways people can find to uh, make their diseases treated, right? Okay, so for some people, Chinese medicine is very mysterious, and mm, in Taiwan, some people believe in Chinese medicine and think that Chinese medicine can cure or treat some diseases that the modern medical science cannot deal with. All right. Well, I don't know. Mm, maybe because Chinese medicine has a long history, then people uh, can not figure out all of the ways that ancient Chinese people or the old Chinese doctors did at the ancient times. Right. So that's why Chinese medicine is so mm, mysterious. Mm. Okay, but well, there is some local ways or regional ways that the people use to treat some kind of disease. Then here you will see the examples. The first one is folk prescription, for example, to use onions or garlic, okay, to treat influenza or some other diseases, okay. And then the second one is people take vitamins, all right. Especially people will say, if you feel you are going to get a flu, then eat more uh, fruits, and because uh, we can have much vitamin C in fruits, and the vitamin C is very good to help us to resist influenza, right? Okay, and then actually, scientific experiments have no proved most of these theories, unfortunately. All right, and then there is one medical, we can say the pill or the medicine, which was considered very magical, and many people relied on them before. I mean before to treat a lot of diseases, which was antibiotics. Okay, so some people want antibiotics whenever they get sick, uh, but you have to know first, some antibiotics are very expensive, and then much of this money is wasted, which means uh, they are not so useful as people imagined. Okay, and then the last point is because some diseases are caused by viruses and viruses are even smaller than bacteria, and they cause different kinds of diseases. All right, I highlighted they um, because I want you to tell uh, they here refers to uh, viruses or bacteria. All right, of course, bacteria is a plural form of Piterium. And later on, I will show you the differences of these two kind of tiny organic materials. Okay, and all right, so you have to know antibiotics are not so-called jack of all trades. Okay, which means it is kind of magical medicine that can treat any disease. I mean, serious or incurable diseases people imagined or people thought of. Okay, and then in the later parts, all right, antibiotics are useless against them, just as I mentioned. Okay, and then I will show you some words. All right, antibiotics and the example, but actually I want you to know the difference between viruses and bacteria. All right, virus here means an extremely small piece of organic material that causes disease in humans, animals, and plants. Virus is not a good thing, of course, deadly thing sometimes. All right, but how about bacteria? The singular form is bacterium. Actually, there are microscopic single-celled organisms that thrive in diverse environments. All right, they can live within soil, in the ocean, and inside the human gut. Humans' relation with bacteria is complex. Sometimes they lend a helping hand by curdling milk into yogurt or helping with our digestion. At other times, they are destructive, which means they will cause some disease for people. All right, causing disease like pneumonia and MRSA is very complicated disease. And if you want to know what it is, Google it, right? Google is very useful, more useful than antibiotics. Okay, all right. And then the next paragraph. All right, the main idea. Because people are afraid of unknown diseases, they treat those victims of diseases cruelly. Of course, that especially in at the times that uh, people had very little idea about medicine, about the reasons, the causes of the diseases. Then uh, they will treat these victims, which means people that are or infected with these diseases by these diseases. Okay, and then I will show you the details. Okay, the first point is out of their fear, through history, people have treated victims of diseases maliciously. All right, we will know what it means later on. All right, and then the second, all right, some minor points under this detail. All right, sometimes they fire victims from their job. All right, and then expel them from school. Okay, and throw them out of their apartments. All right, so or refuse them transportation services. All right, they are treated just like aliens or non-humans. Okay, and then the second detail. In the epidemics of plague a few hundred years ago, people simply covered the doors and the windows of the victims' houses and left them inside to die. All right, all in an effort to protect themselves from getting sick. Okay, you can imagine uh, the kind of picture. All right, how cruel people were at the time. All right, and how miserable of these how miserable these victims were. And it's very fortunate that we don't treat victims of epidemics nowadays like this. All right, so in the later parts, I want you to learn some words, new words in this paragraph. The first one is victim, all right, which means the person. Oh, okay. Uh, Here is a noun, not a verb. Okay. So I think this definition is not so right. I'm sorry. I have to, you know, I should have noticed this. All right. Victim means a person to be hurt or damaged or killed because of something or somebody else. Okay. All right. So that's the example here. All right. But the example is a correct one. Okay. All right. I'm sorry again. All right. And then the next one, the word maliciously. It is an adverb here. All right. Intended to harm or upset other people. Okay. You can see the example. He complained that he'd been treated maliciously by his neighbors. All right. In this way, it is used as an adverb. And then the next word is expel, right? To force someone to leave a place, right? And then the next one is plague. I just give you the definition because it's very similar to the word epidemic, all right? Any serious disease that kills many people, all right? So it is about the time to show you some picture, maybe will upset you. All right. In this picture, you will see this person with a very scary face. All right. That means this person was infected with some kind of disease. That is Hansen's disease, also called leprosy. All right. 麻风病. Okay. And then the next one is malaria. All right. There is malaria nowadays. All right. And you will see how malaria is, spread in our body. Okay. In this picture. Okay. And then the next one is, okay, this one, uh, tuberculosis. All right. Long time ago, tuberculosis was a deadly disease, which means if people had this kind of disease, they were destined to die. Okay. All right. So I think you have little idea about the epidemics and how people treated epidemics at the ancient times. All right, and later on in the second film, we will see the situation nowadays in modern times. Okay, so see you later.